Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing so well and happy spooky season. I cannot believe it's October already. This year has flown by, but I'm not that mad about it because this is my favourite time of year. So grab yourself a tea, I have a peppermint one right here, get cozy in a blanket because I'm going to be talking about what I believe are the most perfect autumn recs to read this season. I'm going to put this down before I spill it everywhere, but as an autumn lover I believe I have got such an amazing group of books here to show you guys. Some of them I've been sent, some of them I picked up myself. It's going to be a mixture of romance book, cozy romantasy book with autumn vibes, and a mystery because I feel like when you're in autumn it's all like spooky, we've got to have a mystery. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number one has to be the Belladonna series. I talk about this series so often, but this time of year is the time of year you're going to want to pick these books up. There is a total of 3 books in this series, so it's not that long of all. There's Belladonna, Foxglove and Wisteria. And the reason I believe this is perfect to read this time of year is because it has everything. It's a gothic romantasy book where the main character is getting followed by death himself. It's kind of set in like a Regency-esque era. This girl's parents died when she was young, so she's being passed around different family members. However, everyone she goes and stays with all the way up until she turns 18 has died. And she basically only has one family left to live with, and she is sick of this. She takes a stand and she says, "Death, you're not going to have them anymore." However, when she gets there, there is an unexpected murder mystery that she needs to solve to save them, which means she has to team up with Death himself. And there's a little bit of a romance between them from there onwards, but I won't go into too much detail. I read this series in this time of year and it was the best because the way things are described is so intricate. It's all like red berries, dark, gothic, misty. It's just exactly how the cover looks is the vibes of the book, and I just know it will suck you in immediately if this is what you're looking for. Plus it has so many genres in one: a mystery, a romantasy, a gothic, fantasy. It's just everything. And honestly, the books just get better and better as they go on. There's more supernatural aspects being introduced, there's more secrets to uncover. It's just the perfect series. Next is another romantasy book and it's Divine Rivals. This is quite a popular one. I've only just read this year and I cannot believe that I didn't read it sooner because it was incredible. It's basically set in like an alternate World War I where 2 gods are fighting, people are getting taken into the war, people are going disappearing, there's so much lore behind it. And then it basically follows a girl called Iris and a boy called Roman, and they both work at the same newspaper office, but they're work rivals. And Iris's brother has been conscripted into the war. She has no idea where he's stationed, but she's still writing letters on her typewriter to him and just slipping them under her wardrobe. But when one day she realises these letters are disappearing and they are somehow falling in the hands of her enemy Roman kids. This book honestly stole my heart as soon as I got into like chapter 2. It was so beautifully written. I am a big fan of Rebecca Ross's books. I literally have a whole section on my bookshelf dedicated to her just because she writes yearning so well in books. And I feel like that's what this book has so much of, and it makes it so heartwarming and brilliant. And the reason I think it would be perfect to read in this cozy season is because Rebecca just has a way with words. Everything she writes is so poetic, it's so warm, makes you feel so fuzzy, and it's just so beautiful. I'm in awe at some of the things she writes. I'm like, I feel like I'm reading a masterpiece. And linking to the beautiful words, this book is so romantic because of that, and that's why I think it fits perfect this time of year, because this is the exact kind of book you want to cozy down with. And don't get me wrong, the story at times had me on the edge of my seat. It hooks you in so quick, and I think if you're a big fan of enemies to lovers, yearning, workplace romance, you'll absolutely love this. And if you've never read a romantasy book before, I also think this would be a very good one to start with because it's so easy to understand, it's not complicated, and the characters are just so lovely, and the way it's all described is incredible, and it's just 10 out of 10. The Crimson Moth is the next book that I want to talk about, and this is also a romantasy book. I believe it's the last one I'm going to show you, but this is my favourite book in the world. It's an enemies to lovers between a witch and a witch hunter. It's set in like a Bridgerton-esque era, but very dark, very gothic, and of course those vibes are perfect for October and spooky season. If I could describe this book in 3 words, it would be romantic, suspenseful and steamy. It follows a girl called Rune who's a witch. However, she has to hide that because in this town, if you are a witch, you get killed after the revolution. However, this is extra hard because Rune is someone very high up in society. She's mingling with all these suitors, all of her friends are people in high places, so she really struggles to keep it all hidden away, but she still does good and she saves all these witches being captured, while at the same time trying not to be caught because that would be the scandal of the season and she would be put to death. And she basically finds out one of her nan's closest friends has been captured and she needs to save her. However, she doesn't know where she is, and she comes up with a plan that the only way she's going to be able to do this is if she courts the most brutal witch hunter in the city, Gideon Sharp. And you can just imagine how intense it gets from there, because the whole time you're like, what if he finds out? And then at the same time, when they're kind of falling for each other, you're like, what the hell is she doing? How is she going to get out of this? So many twists and turns in this book that will keep you captivated. It's the most perfect romantasy to read in this season if you want something a little bit more suspenseful. It was an instant 5-star for me. Moving on to more romancy kind of books, we have The Best Hex Ever. And I just think this has the most perfect Halloweeny witchy cover I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think it encapsulates the vibes of this book absolutely perfectly. It basically follows a woman called Dinah. She is a kitchen witch and she owns a cafe. She, however, is cursed. She cannot fall in love with anyone at risk of hurting them. Then there is Scott, a museum creator who has just moved back to London after a very brutal breakup. He is the best man at his best friend's wedding, and he happens to meet Dina as the maid of honour in this wedding. After spending a lot of time together at this beautiful countryside wedding, the chemistry between them is undeniable. But of course Dina knows she cannot fall in love with him at risk of something happening to him. She really likes Scott, so she goes on a journey to find out a way she can break the spell. Otherwise, it's going to end in a massive heartbreak. This book, in my opinion, is cozy perfection. It's heartfelt, funny, romantic. There's so much tension between the two characters. I feel like they're super layered as well. And of course, the cozy witchy vibes are immaculate in this book. You cannot get a more perfect October read than this. Next is Like a Charm, and this will be a very quick and easy read. I think if you're looking for something less committal, like a series like Belladonna, this will be perfect for you, and it will have all the vibes you're looking for. This is about a woman who is a part-time witch, part-time lawyer in London. However, her life isn't as perfect as it seems because she is estranged from her family and she's in a toxic relationship with a married man. As a teenager, she found out that her mother had cast a love spell on her boyfriend Jamie, so she fled town, cut all ties with her mother and magic. Her aunt becomes seriously ill, so she has no choice to come back into town. What she doesn't expect is to see her aunt's doctor is Jamie. I truly believe this short and sweet book will steal your heart this season. Next is All Wrapped Up by Heidi Swain, and let me tell you, Heidi Swain is the queen of cozy autumn romances. So honestly, if that's what you're looking for, an autumn romance, no like magic stuff involved, go straight to this. All of her books are so quaint. They're all set in like a cozy tight-knit village, and there's so many intricate relationships that come about. And this basically follows a woman called Clemmy who is renovating a house outside of her hometown because she had a very public heartbreak. She lost her husband, sold her home, and has been living a very private life ever since, but she thinks something needs to change. She ends up being pulled in to organise the town's first ever autumn festival, and that's where she meets Vet Ash, and he falls so head over heels for her, and she wonders, is she ready to fall in love again? This is such a sweet, feel-good book you will instantly lose yourself in. And again, just look at that cover. It's perfect cozy realness. And the last two books I'm going to show you are both quite different, but they're both kind of more on the mystery side of things. Number one is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. And I think by now we all know I am a huge fan of Lisa Jewell's books. I just think all of her thrillers are so intricately and amazingly written. The kind of books I just think you can never figure out what's going to happen when reading it. That's just why I think it's perfect and so gripping. The reason I chose this book and not one of her many others that I've read is because I think this is perfect for this spooky season because it has a lot more dark undertones than the rest. And it's kind of hard to explain, so I'm going to read you the back. One house, two families, three bodies. In a large house in London's fashionable Chelsea, a baby is awake in her cot. Well fed and cared for, she's waiting for someone to pick her up. In the kitchen lie three corpses. Close to them is a hastily scribbled note. They've been dead for several days. Who has been looking after the baby and where did they go? And when I say that description of the book is so surface level to what the book actually holds, is insane. This is just the most brilliantly twisty book which will have your jaw on the floor. Throughout every chapter I was desperate to know what had happened, what's going on. It really does keep you gripped. And last of all is a book which is a fairly new release. I haven't seen many people talking about this, and it's called A Cinnamon Falls Mystery. I was actually kindly gifted this by Simon & Schuster and I had no idea what to expect, but I think everyone needs to read this book if you're into like, I guess, cozy crime but like also romance. This follows a girl called Nia, and after a humiliating breakup in the big city, she's forced to move back to her hometown of Cinnamon Falls. But when she arrives, the town is setting up for their annual autumn festival. There's apple bobbing and there's also a king and queen of autumn to be crowned. However, a few days before opening night, a body is found in the local diner with a note saying who will be next. Nia ends up having to team up with her handsome, tall high school ex-boyfriend Jesse to try and solve this mystery. honestly, upon first picking this book up, I thought this was going to be another cringy like autumn romance book, but I was so wrong. It got dark so quick, and I feel like all the characters are so layered, all their issues are so intricate. It really shocked me. It just had such a great balance. I think it really kept the cozy town, like Cinnamon Falls, and like there's like the cinnamon bakery, and it's all quite quaint and sweet, but then it had so much more to it, which books like this don't usually have. I loved the tension and the relationship between the two main characters. All the other side characters as well were so layered and so amazing. On the back it has like such a perfect description for it. It says, if you are a fan of the Gilmore Girls or Pretty Little Liars, you will love this. And I think that is the perfect explanation. It's like those two TV shows mushed up into one, and as a huge fan of Pretty Little Liars, I love this. I actually had no idea until I opened the first page of this book, but this is actually going to become like a small town crime series, and there's 2 books coming in 2026, which I am so excited about. So I recommend, before those 2 books out, you need to hop on the bandwagon of this. It has such whodunit feels. The whole time I was like, oh, could it be this person? Like, I don't want to like this character because what I'm doing, it's them. I feel like that's such a fun kind of book to read, especially this time of year. Like, I feel like you want something a bit more like mentally stimulating, but also spooky and cozy and romantic. It's just everything. But yeah, that is the last book I have to show you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this variation of different reads and you find something perfect for you. If you have any more spooky or cozy recommendations, I would love to know. I feel like I already have so many, but I just want so much more. My tea has probably definitely gone cold because I've been yapping for about 40 minutes now, so I'm gonna have to go reheat that. But I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Autumn is my favourite time of year, so definitely expect a couple autumnal-esque videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. I have plans to go to like a little pumpkin patch and do like a couple autumn things, so I think I'm gonna vlog that, so autumn vlog pending. If you did enjoy today's video, please remember to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new, so I know that you guys are loving this type of content, and I will see you in my next video.